touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connectors, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, race fans. Tonight, the SIGMA ARCA Series takes to Las Vegas for 145 miles for a grand total of 97 laps around the circuit here tonight. Las Vegas never fails to impress, and we're definitely in for a treat here tonight. With these ARCA stars starting on the front row, you've got Jaden Anderson and Craig Bush, B-Roy and Evan Snake, Jonah Burridge and Ralph Oberstadt, Joseph Hayes and Kaylee Sheets, Ace Blake and Rand Kataz, Wyatt Wilkinson and Skylar Taylor, Casey Klein and William Kinsella Jr., Chase Kovacic and Donovan Heist, Heen Klutchoke and James Gunner, Mark Shelton and Chris Kagreen, Craig Popkris and Trevor Vaden, Finley Herwig and Jimmy Schlongson, Joe Hill and Jakov Rosovich, Eli the Wolf and Zach Magoon, Hank Scorpio and Bailey Parker, Matthew Hubert, Alan Chavot, Gustavo and Alex Sanvital, with Adam Cruz, Sly Ojima, and Joao Vitor alongside Jamison Thole. This ARCA Series has definitely been a wild card, not knowing what's going to come next with these guys and gals. Might we see another surprise winner here tonight at Vegas? This is definitely a taste of the big leagues racing at a track like Vegas for these guys. Pace car is off, and we're going to get going here. And we're off and rolling here at Las Vegas. Time to roll the dice and make your bets. Jaden Anderson off to the early lead here, as they're getting a little bit out of sorts behind him. Here we go with Jonah Burridge going on the attack through turns 3 and turn 4. How about B-Roy up to second and fighting for the lead here early in this one? Jaden Anderson, we have not typically seen run at the front of the field, so that too, a bit of a surprise, a bit of a shock. But it's Jaden Anderson that leads the first couple laps here, while he's going to have to defend the attack from Roy behind him. Ace Blake settles into 5th there. You can see right there behind Joseph Hayes. It's hard to miss that car out there. It's very bright, very colorful. Still in the midst of Pride Month, and that he's going to hopefully give that paint scheme a good run here tonight. Here we go. B-Roy is looking to try and take the lead away here from Anderson in the number 8. Joseph Hayes and Ace Blake move up a spot. B-Roy on the attack, getting on the inside of that 8 car, and he is right there. He's going to carry that momentum and take over first place. Jaden Anderson leads the first 5 laps, and now it's B-Roy to the point. But don't count out Joseph Hayes, who's also closed up. It's the 48 versus the 84. Somewhat of a palindrome, if you would look at it that way. It's the same 2 numbers spelled one way as it is backwards. 48-84, 48-84. Jaden Anderson does not want to settle into third there. He's making the move on Hayes to try and take second back. Ace Blake under attack by his teammate. Those two are racing out of the same stables. Jonah Burridge showing a little bit more gas in the tank, as it's been noted that he'll be departing from that team at the end of the season. There we go. A pass for the lead. Joseph Hayes drives it in deep. He's going to put Roy behind him. Tonight's going to be a huge night for some of these drivers to start to divide themselves from the rest of the competition. Think about it, as we've only got about 8 races left in the season. It's going to get down to the nitty-gritty. And currently your points leader is that of Wyatt Wilkinson, 4 points over Trevor Vaden, and 6 points over Skylar Taylor. It's Ace Blake in 4th, 25 points back. We look at the running order as they are right now. Seems that Trevor Vaden struggling a little bit here tonight. Newcomer in the 16 there, that is Heen Clutchoke. And he's starting to work his way up towards the front. Seems that the LFG Motorsports power coming to life with that 16 team after they swapped drivers for it. But holy cow, where is Trevor Vaden running in 24th right now? So he's having a rough spell here tonight. The actual points leader, Wyatt Wilkinson, though, in the top 5, should be able to stretch it out a little bit with a good run here tonight. We've got another battle brewing here at the front of the field. Wilkinson goes low on the 78, making a move for third. And there goes Wyatt Wilkinson. He's not getting the job done because that 78 still holding it strong on the high side. Running it almost all the way back around the 19. Finally, Klein right there behind gives the 19 a good enough push to get by the 78. 84 and 48, still a palindrome. No matter which direction you spell out the numbers for 84-48 or 84-48. rough go of it here for Trevor Vaden, as 24th on field is definitely going to take a huge hit in the points if he can't work his way up towards the front end of the field. Ace Blake struggling a little bit here in the mid-run. That's impressive. Jonah Burge showing some strength there in the 78. Got back by the 19 of Wilkinson. Now he's going to have to try and hunt down the lead too. Jonah Burge now has B. Roy in his sights. He's going to go low, take the 48 for a drag race through turns 1 and 2. Coming onto the backstretch. Still alongside the 48, but the 48 stretches it out there. Gets back in front of the 78 going into turn 3. Burge not giving up. He's putting that car where he can get some fresh air. Trying to drag race down the front stretch this time. And he's going to drive it in deep. Taking almost a full car length advantage on the 48. He's not going to be able to close the door yet on the backstretch here. As they go back into turns 3. Coming through the middle. And at the exit of turn 4. Jonah Burge now up to second. Following closely behind, Wyatt Wilkinson trying to take advantage as well, with 2 of his LFG Motorsports teammates right there alongside of him. He and Clutch Oak, in just his first ever career start here, running in the top 10 alongside 2 of his teammates for position to get up into the top 5 potentially. Looks like he might be able to settle into the top 5 if he can get by Craig Bush in the 15. Currently it's Wilkinson in 4th, Bush in 5th, and Clutch Oak in 6th. Chadwick definitely impressed with what he's seeing here tonight. The improvement out of that 16 car. All it took was a driver swap and things are clicking for the team. Bush driving it in. He's going to catch the tail end of the 19 and make a move through turns 1 and 2. As they drag race down the backstretch, Wilkinson is now going to be faced with a little bit of adversity here, as even Chris K-Green gets up to the back bumper of the 15. And it looks like they're going to freight train their way possibly by Wilkinson, but Wilkinson's able to barely close the door there on the 15. There might have been a little bit of contact with his teammate. There was not enough room to close the window. But Wilkinson holds on to 4th for now, keeping his teammate behind him. All in the meantime, Joseph Hayes out front leading the way. Definitely not a contender for that championship as he joined so late in the season. But perhaps getting some research and development for next year in the books. That 84 definitely going to be back on the circuit next season, the way he's running. Jonah Burge, though, this could be a Cinderella story of sorts. The struggle and perseverance of that 78 team after it was announced that they were going to part ways with Burge at the end of season. Burge simply wanting to fight to get his name out there and potentially land a new seat in 2025. Wilkinson makes the move on the 48, but passover maneuver, the 48 gets back down underneath the 19. And here comes B-Roy back up to third. That was short-lived. And we've got a move going for the lead. Going into turn 3, Jonah Burge drives it in. Not quite alongside Joseph Hayes. Hayes outstretches him there, going on to the front stretch. And temporary, but now we've got a caution. Woofty, and it looks like we might have a pretty nasty caution here. So we're going to go back just a little bit prior to the wreck. Joao Vitor here in the 88, he's running in 29th position. Seems that we've got a wreck about to happen right now. Oh, the 79. Ooh. Chavot gets very hard hit. So this all starts with Alan Chavot up towards 25th place. Trevor Vaden, struggling as he is already this evening, makes matters worse by taking out the 79. Vitor, with nowhere to go, clips the 79, and then the 79 just turns into a ragdoll at that point. Adam Cruz was involved, the 01. Sly Ojima was involved. It's not normal when you see cars turning into spinning tops on the racetrack. They just had nowhere to go. They tried to take it as low as they could. Even if they went high, they were likely going to make contact with the 88 of Vitor. So just unfortunate circumstances there for these young drivers. Nice, we're sitting about the seat where I was when I came to Vegas for my one race that I've been to here. And just imagine if you were at a real race and you saw that cart barrel rolling down pit road. That is absurd. So just one quick recap. We'll do a replay from where it all started. Trevor Vaden, the catalyst of this wreck, takes out the 79 of Alan Chavot. And as you can see, the 88 of Vitor with nowhere to go. The track kind of closes up for everyone. Cruz and Ojima also involved. 33 of Eli the Wolf. He may have had the best save of the race. Let's watch from his chase cam here. Dang! Eli got lucky that he did not make any contact with any of the drivers there. So this will give us a chance to re-rack them here after we've gotten to lap 30 on the evening. So far it's been Joseph Hayes leading most laps here. Leading over Wyatt Wilkinson. B-Roy has shared a few stints at the lead. Chris K-Green, Jonah Burridge, Kaylee Sheets now up into the top 10. Casey Klein, Mark Shelton, Ace Blake back up into the top 10 after he got shuffled out during that stint green flag run. And then we have the 8 of Jaden Anderson, who led for the first few laps before getting passed and dropped all the way back outside here to the top 10. Evan the Snake, Craig Popgris, Finley Herwig, Chase Kovacic. Craig Bush gets shuffled way back. Looks like your LFG teams decided to pull most of their guys down pit road, so they get shuffled out. Trevor Vaden still running a measly 28th right now. And I think we've only got a handful of retirements. 4 retirements, all 4 of which were involved in that wreck. So 34 cars left running here at Vegas. Green flag waves for the restart. Wilkinson with the slight edge there, getting in front of Joseph Hayes. Hayes not letting that 19 get away from him, though. He's going to take the lead with authority going into turns 1, coming out of turn 2. One thing we know for certain is cautions tend to breed cautions. So we need to keep an eye on everyone racing here and make sure we can get some green laps in, because you never know if another wreck might unfold here. What I think we're seeing too, we're starting to see some of the guys that have a better short run setup versus some of the folks that have a better long run setup. Ace Blake, one of those that had a short run setup, we've seen him up towards the front fighting with the lead, and then once the laps start to unfold, he gets to falling backwards. So definitely he's going to be wanting to see another caution towards the end of this one to give him an opportunity to use that setup to its advantage. He needs to beat Wyatt Wilkinson by about 10 spots if he wants any shot at taking over that points lead. In the meantime, there's a swap for the lead. Here comes Joseph Hayes back to the front. Casey Klein now up to 3rd with Jonah Burridge in 4th. And Jonah's teammate, Ace Blake, in 5th. Now you start the freight train as the 48 of Roy gets shuffled high. Those drafting on the low side are going to be able to blow right by him. Here comes Klein up to 2nd. Here comes Burridge up to 3rd. Here comes Blake up to 4th. Ooh, Wilkinson gives Blake quite the push there. Almost pushes him right into his teammate, Burridge. So far, we've been treated to some very exciting racing here at Vegas tonight. And we're not even halfway through. Jonah Burridge goes low on Klein. Here's a run from the 78 with a little bit of help from his teammate. Klein trying to make the move for the lead here. He's going on the attack against Joseph Hayes. Jonah Burridge right there in the rear view mirror. These 4 fighting hard for the lead. Here comes Ace Blake making a move now. He's able to help Casey Klein get up to the lead 84 progressively on the high side, racing back around. That's when you get these exciting battles, when both lines can run strongly all the way around the track. Here we go. Casey Klein gets to the lead and leads one of his first laps here tonight. This is somewhat of a prelude to our big marquee event, one of the crown jewels of our Sylvania Cup Series, the 777 Annual. We come here to Vegas each year in the Cup Series and host 777 Annual. It's 777 kilometers in length and always is one of the biggest races for these drivers to win. It's going to be exciting to see who's the 2024 winner of the 777 Annual. A lot of drivers that win it are championship caliber drivers, and it's definitely one of those you want to mark next to your career highlights. A lot like winning a Daytona 500. Everyone wants to win that 777 Annual. And of course, 77 being a lucky number here in Vegas. Ace Blake right there in second. Could he capitalize on the success of this track? We'll see. We're starting to see a return to form with this ARCA Series and the drivers that we've seen so often run towards the front. It really has been the Wyatt and Ace show so far this season, as those two have been very hard to beat week in and week out. Here comes Blake with a good run on Hayes. Hayes better look out because that 77 is hungry. Seems like the gap has shrunk even more. Going on the attack ends turn 3, and he'll have it done by the end of turn 4. 84 falls backwards here. Ace Blake, your new leader here tonight at Las Vegas. And we're just right at about halfway through the race tonight. Ace Blake shows his versatility here tonight, falling all the way back to 15th and roaring his way all the way back up to the front to take the lead. But here he's got Joseph Hayes getting back by him here. And you better be careful Wyatt Wilkinson doesn't get past him, or else that might be a tough opponent to pass back. Wilkinson gets by Ace Blake, and Blake then uses the outside line to roar around back in front of the 19. So Blake definitely has a strong car here tonight and is able to even run the high side to get back around drivers that are passing him on the inside. Going for the lead again on Joseph Hayes. Has half a nose, has a full car length in front of the 84. Tried to close the door, but didn't have enough room to do so. Doesn't matter, as he still is able to get the pass done and take back over the lead. Wyatt Wilkinson now up to second. Wilkinson going low. Man, you've seen so many lead changes this race. It's crazy. Leader can barely hold the lead for more than a couple laps, it seems like, as now Wyatt Wilkinson is your leader here at Vegas. Let's do a check from the back of the field here. Ow, Skylar Taylor, she is in the top 5 in points and looking like she's going to have a dismal run here tonight at Vegas in 34th place right now. That's going to hurt tremendously in that points battle. In front of her, you've got Matthew Hubert, William Kinsella Jr., Alex Sanvital, Eli the Wolf, Gustavo, Schlongson, Popgris, Thole, Heist, Scorpio, Kutaz, Magoon, Jaden Anderson, Trevor Vaden starting to make some moves through the field as he's now into the top 20. Finley Herwig, Rosevich, Bailey Parker, Mark Shelton, Kaylee Sheets, Chris Kagreen in the top 15. Ralph Oberstadt, Chase Kovacic, and Heen Clutchoke in the top 10 in his series debut. So not too bad for that 16 Monster Energy entry. Just now trying to make a pass here on Casey Klein with Evan Snake there in front of him. B. Roy, Craig Bush, Jonah Burridge, Joseph Hayes gets shuffled back to 5th. James Gunner now up to 3rd. Ace Blake right there behind Wyatt Wilkinson. But this race, far from over. Still a lot of laps for things to pan out here. Everyone should be good to go without any more pit stops. The way that caution fell with on lap 30. Look at the garage and see what it says. 66 laps. So it's going to be almost a perfect run. You might see pit stops with like 3 laps to go unless we get another caution here tonight. Ace Blake back to the lead. Wilkinson back to 2nd. Joseph Hayes, James Gunner, and Jonah Burridge, your top 5. I do want to highlight, Ace Blake is one of only 2 drivers with multiple wins here in the ARCA Series. The only other driver was that of Trevor Vaden, who has 2 wins. Ace Blake matched that with 2 of his own, and even did so in 2 less races run this season, as Trevor Vaden started from the first race and hasn't missed any of them. Ace Blake started late, 2 races out of the season. So he started race number 3, and he's already won 2 races in a shorter duration than Trevor Vaden has. Partially why Ace Blake is still 25 points out of the points lead, but he's proven today why he's a threat for this championship. Once this race is done and in the books, you'll have 7 races left. And it's not like we have any chase or playoffs or bracket or anything for these ARCA guys. It's simply a standard old school championship battle by points. No gimmicks, no nothing. Just whoever gets the most points in the 18 race tournament wins the championship. Wyatt Wilkinson fading a little bit here as he's dropped all the way back to 5th. He does have some teammate help here in the top 10 as he's got the 15 of Craig Bush right there behind him and the 16 of Clutch Oak just a few more spots back. But let's give a shout out to Chase Kovacic, who continues to amaze and impress here in the SIGMA ARCA Series. He's probably had about a top 15, top 20 car at best, and he's finally cracked into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Very much alive in the points battle. He currently sits 5th overall, 37 points back, mostly because of these strong runs that we're seeing here tonight, that he's found his way up to the front when it matters most. 62 flirting with another top 10 here tonight, and don't count him out because he can still work his way through the traffic and potentially be fighting for a win here as well. You've got Oberstadt there in the 21 Twitch GTO. He's gotten a win on the season, and he's hoping to maybe rack up some more before the season closes. He has landed a sweet new gig as part of Atlee's, well, basically the seat being vacated by the 78 of Jonah Burridge is going to make way for Ralph Oberstadt to hop in for Atlee's team. You got to imagine Atlee would be so proud to see his team get a 1-2 finish. Very possible that that could happen here tonight with Ace Blake and Jonah Burge both looking very strong in the 77 and the 78 respectively. But they're going to have their work cut out for them as Joseph Hayes continues to hang around like a thorn in the side. He's making this race interesting. Burridge going deep. He's going to make the move on his teammate there to take over second as Joseph Hayes takes back over the lead. And this could have been strategic if you look at it this way. Perhaps, well, throw that out the window too because Burridge making a move on his teammate for second again. What I was going to say is perhaps they decided to drop back here so they could team up and push each past the 84. If Burridge and Blake were able to work together, they could draft by the leader and drop him even further out of the running order. Since they're not cooperating, they're allowing Joseph Hayes to slowly drive away at the front of the field. Ace Blake starting to lose some traction here. Perhaps falling into the same trap hole that he was in for the first half of the race with a long green flag stint wearing thin on him. We're at about 40 laps on this run versus the last run was about 30 laps when you saw him start to falter towards the back. Settles in to 5th there for now, as some of the drivers that have saved their tires are starting to make passes for position here. Seems like Craig Bush Found a little bit extra in the tank, and now Jonah Burge gets shuffled out of the top 5. Now falls into 4th there. So didn't get completely shuffled out. Almost did. Definitely what Joseph Hayes wants to see in his rear view mirror. All these drivers fighting amongst each other to keep that distance from shrinking. Here we go with Gunner now, making a move on the 15. Here we go, Ace Blake back on the move now. Casey Klein starting to move into the picture. Wilkinson starting to move into the picture again as well. Now, what happened to the 62 of Kovacic? It looks like he got shuffled backwards a little bit. Fell back to 16th. So he was running top 10. Now he's running top 20. Ace Blake back into 3rd place. Craig Bush in 2nd. Alrighty, the battle's starting to brew yet again for our leaders, as Craig Bush has closed the gap up on Joseph Hayes. Ace Blake right there in 3rd, as well as James Gunner and Wyatt Wilkinson. The distance has shrunk significantly, as you could throw a blanket over the entire top 6 drivers. That could be all upset with one move. If a driver pushes another guy out of the racing groove, they might fall all the way back. Ace Blake able to survive an attack there on him from the 32. Closes ever so close up to the back bumper of that 15. Now we're going to have a battle for the lead. That 15 makes a move. Bush going low on Hayes. Blake trying to figure out where to draft. He doesn't know if he wants to go with the 84 or the 15 yet. Oh, whoa, no way. Oh, no, 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 no. Dude, what the heck? Right out of the lead. Well, chalk that one up to one of those ARCA moments. Okay, so I don't even know where to start here. So, Joseph Hayes was leading the race, you know, doing all he can to try and win it. And the battle was starting to look pretty exciting here at the front of the field, as all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. We'll get the recap fresh from the restart, well, fresh from the replay studio here. Joseph Hayes. Okay, next lap. Okay, still gives us some time to talk about it. As he's holding the lead over Craig Bush, I don't know what happened there. If there was maybe a mechanical failure. Usually mechanical failures like that. 15 goes on the attack. Joseph Hayes drives back around on the outside. Man, it looked like he just hard left, tried to cut low there. For what reason, I don't know. But this is where things get all kinds of out of control. It's like he tried to go to pit road off the front stretch, which is weird. So your leader makes the most ARCA-esque move of the race here tonight, colliding with the 15. And then right here you'll see it again as he cuts way low. He's trying to get to pit road and then takes out the 9. And then it's a parking lot. The number 8 there of Jaden Anderson was your pole setter. Unfortunately, James Gunner, who was very strong here in the race, gets caught up in the mayhem. We're only going to have about maybe 12 laps to go once the race restarts. Dang. That, my friends, is a certified ARCA racing moment. So Ace Blake had to come down pit road, get damages repaired. Bailey Parker had to get some damage repaired. Looks like we're going to be down to about 18 cars left running here, with kind of a mixed bag of those that have clean cars and those that have damaged cars. A lot of those with the damaged vehicles towards the back of the field might not be in the mix anymore for the win tonight. LFG Motorsports currently running 1, 2, 3. Their only other driver, Trevor Vaden, a little bit further back, about 15th, I think. So we'll get doubled up for the restart and see if we can get this one finished with 11 laps left to go. What was looking like a solid win in the bag for Joseph Hayes, or at least a solid attempt to get the win here tonight, he makes a boneheaded ARCA move, taking out roughly half the field there. Not taking him out, but definitely damaging half the field. So we're back in racing. Wyatt Wilkinson gets the lead from his teammate there, Craig Bush. Craig Bush did get a little bit of contact during that wreck. As you can see, these lead 10, they're starting to drive away from the rest of the field that's been gravely damaged due to the chaos. Settles into LFG Motorsports running 1-2. Chris Kagreen now up to second here. And we might not be done wrecking. As you see, oh, the 24 of San Vital. Everyone keeps going. San Vital, just very much a hairy moment there for everyone. We are going to turn on green-white checkers just in case. You want to be safe in case we actually have to use it. Man, seems like the squirrels have come out to play now. This really benefits LFG Motorsports immensely, as this has helped even Trevor Vaden get into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. And that's going to help him a long ways in fighting for those points that he needs to get back in for the championship battle. Heen Clutchoke in his series debut with a great run here tonight. Here we go. Chris Kagreen goes to the lead on Wyatt Wilkinson here with just 7 laps to go. Did not anticipate for Chris Kagreen to be in the mix here. Got Kaylee Sheets right there in the picture as well. Rosevich, Clutchoke, Vaden. This is getting exciting. Here comes Kaylee for second place. Hopefully we can finish this race without having to throw a green-white checker overtime restart in the mix. Here we go. Clutchoke and Sheets starting to move to the front. Your entire LFG Motorsports stable all right within the same zip code there. As Wilkinson loses the position to Kaylee Sheets. Sheets now has to set her sights on the 10 of Chris Kagreen. And we could potentially have a chance for the first female to win here in ARCA. Here comes Clutchoke. Wow, Clutchoke. Honestly, I did not forecast any of this panning out the way it has. Look at LFG Motorsports starting to work their way up into second, third, and fourth. This could be a power move from LFG Motorsports if they could pull this off. Wilkinson getting back by Clutchoke. All in the meantime, Chris Kagreen driving away with it. Wilkinson's going to have another shot. As potentially Trevor Vaden now with a shot. He's driving it in there hard and aggressive to try and take over the position. Kaylee Sheets is currently holding on to. Two laps and a white flag remaining here. Sheets goes low. This is not helping anyone catch up to the leaders, as all this fighting for position allows that 10 just to drive. No, and oh no! The 10 had to pit. The 10 had to pit. Chris Kagreen pulls down pit road here on lap 96 of 97. Even caught Kaylee Sheets off guard there, as she lost the momentum. that allowed for the 19 of Wilkinson to drive away. Wilkinson gonna collect the white flag here tonight at Vegas. One more lap, the race is official. And it doesn't look like anyone's gonna have anything for Wyatt Wilkinson unless Vaden has something to say here. Potential last lap pass on the front stretch could materialize. 18 running it deep into turns 3. He's only gonna have the exit of turn 4 to make something happen. But it's not gonna materialize as Wyatt Wilkinson gets his second win and continues to grow that points lead here in the ARCA Series. It's an LFG Motorsports 1-2 with a 5th and even a 12th out of Craig Bush. Man, that had so much twists and turns. The 10 of Chris K-Green probably beating himself up over not saving enough fuel to make to the finish. That's crazy, man. Just crazy. Ace Blake's able to bring it home for a 20th. He had a race win in his pocket up until 84 of Joseph Hayes took him out of contention. Twists and turns like none other here tonight at Vegas. And that concludes our 11th ARCA race in the books here tonight. And unfortunately, not much drama in the points battle as your points leader ends up coming home with the win here tonight. We did have a parking lot wreck where most of the field just got piled up on the front stretch. That didn't happen very often, but you kind of come to expect stuff like that to happen in an ARCA race like this. Well, ultimately, congratulations Wyatt Wilkinson on getting win number 2 here in the SIGMA ARCA Series. I have some chores to take care of before we get into the Bridge to Cup race here tonight. And as soon as we finish that Bridge to Cup race, you can expect to see points tallied up and posted on the website. But overall, not a half bad race from Vegas. Totally did not expect some of that carnage to happen. Kind of just adds to the prestige of winning at Las Vegas, it seems. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Glad you could make it. Stay tuned for the second race of our doubleheader tonight here, probably within the next hour. So have a good one, everyone. See you on the flip side. This is Jakester signing out.